All right, so typical spring day here, windy, although today the wind is coming from the land, so it's actually pretty warm. So hopefully I won't get too much wind noise. I'm gonna do the best I can. But anyway, beautiful location, new spot for me. I haven't painted here before, even though it's not far from home. Let me show you what I'm thinking. All right, so I'm thinking of making something of this scene here, and I'll probably have to compress things a bit to get them all on the canvas. I'm gonna be working on a 16 by 20 inch panel, and I've got my usual palette of colors here. Okay, so here's the compositional idea, and I have moved things around a bit. There's a lower tree here, then I moved over this way because I want to see more of the water. This portion here, the cliffs over here, I've kind of left the same, and I'm working really quickly because the wind is picking up. All right, so I'm mixing a little liquid into my dark mixture, which today's going to be ultramarine blue and alizarin crimson, and I'm kind of leaning it maybe a little bit towards blue, keeping the mix kind of thin. I just want to establish the dark shapes, and most of the dark shapes in this painting are going to be these cypress trees, and I'm also going to start suggesting some of the shadow shapes on the cliffs. These are going to change fairly quickly, so yeah, I kind of want to get these in here as early as possible. The cliffs are kind of light colored here, and I don't want to make the shadows too dark. And then I'll come back in and add some warmth, you know, with thicker paint. And there's this lower tree right here. Nice thing about painting trees is, you know, you don't have to be exact, and you can, you know, use them in an abstract way. At this point, it really is all just about design and kind of playing around until I have a pattern that I actually that I like. I think this will work here. I might kind of bring this up a little bit, like maybe like that. Okay, so for the water, I'm using a mixture of ultramarine blue, cadmium yellow medium, and titanium white. Since I'm mixing in direct light, I put some titanium white here to judge the value, and it looks like it's a, you know, mid-value blue-green. And again, just trying to cover this quickly, and I can make adjustments later. And I'll even start suggesting some of that white water. I know hopefully my panel's in kind of half light here, which is necessary just because of the wind. I want the wind pushing directly on the panel instead of having it, you know, I figure that way it won't blow it off the easel. Okay. And I realize this light is, or this white is a little bit dirty, but that's all right because I can come on top of that and put some you know, some thicker, brighter paint. All right. So for the sky, I'm using a mixture of titanium white and ultramarine blue. And I've got the water, you know, right here, the color I use for the water. The sky's a little bit lighter in value, so that looks pretty good right there. All right, so there is the block in, and as I mentioned, I'm working pretty quickly. This probably took maybe 20 minutes to block the whole thing in. So now I'm going to start working dark to light, and I'll start by looking for dark patterns in the trees. As I mentioned, these shadows, I actually want them to be lighter in value, slightly lighter in value, and also warmer. All right, so for the darks that I'm going to use to reinforce the darks in the trees, I'm going with ultramarine mixed with a little bit of burnt sienna. And I also have mixed in some liquid. I want to keep this, I still want to keep my my darks transparent. You know, transparent darks look so much more luminous. And I'm squinting at the subject and just looking for, you know, patterns of the darkest darks. I will come on top of all of this with, you know, lighter portions, obviously, like the light, you know, where the light's hitting the foliage. And I'll try to get some sort of energy in the brushwork, you know, to kind of indicate the direction of the branches as well, if at all possible. All right, so one of the challenges is trying to decide what colors I want in these shadows on the tree. The darkest darks are sort of a dark blue as far as I can tell, but then there's some kind of warmer tones, so I'm going to use some burnt sienna for that. So I've got a mixture of burnt sienna and a little bit of cadmium yellow medium, and I'm just going to scrub in some areas of warmth. And I always remember that this is going to look darker and less saturated when I get it indoors, so you can really kind of go for it and exaggerate. All right, my primary medium for outdoors is Liquid Original, but today I'm going to experiment with some Liquid Impasto. And I've used this before without, you know, I kind of didn't like it so much, but I'm going to try again. It's pretty thick in texture, so we'll see how it goes. All right, so I've got a mixture for the sky here. This is titanium white and ultramarine blue, and I've switched back to Liquid Original. Now, I'm not really shifting the value. The value seems pretty good, but I do want to get some texture. All right, so immediately when I got this painting home, I got out a paper towel and just sort of erased a large portion of these cliffs here. And then I didn't even get out a brush. I just kind of smudged the paint over using my fingers. I'd like to have some more of this color going down along the bottom here. There does seem to be a feeling of depth because of, you know, the higher contrast in the foreground and also the warmer colors on the ground. This is a composition I knew was going to be a challenge just because I haven't painted in that location before. So I just thought, you know, I'll give it a go and see what happens. All right, so as usual, let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you'd like to see some extra videos and help support the channel, there's a Patreon link down below. Got a bunch of extra videos on there, materials list, that sort of thing. So check it out. And other than that, stay creative, and I'll see you guys in the next video.